You're listening to my dad's podcast. It's the Ron and Don Show, only on ronanddonradio.com.
All right, look out now. They heard your plea. Now you got three episodes of the Ron and Don Show. Episode number 28 coming your way right now. And we appreciate everybody reaching out to Les Schwab and thanking them for being a part of the Ron and Don Show. And they are back in the Ron and Don Nation in a big way. In fact, coming up here, we're going to tell you.
Can I say one disclaimer? So
What?
I've got a couple emails on our Facebook page.
Oh.
Not every single Les Schwab employee in every single store in all of their locations across America personally know Ron and Don.
Oh.
So I had one person reach out. I went in talking to the guy about Ron and Don.
Oh.
He's changing my tire. He didn't even know you guys. I'm like,
Oh.
okay, not every single Les.
Oh, you know what? That's a little outrageous.
Maybe you're
That's
saying
a little outrageous.
Les Schwab Corporate should do a
think so.
nationwide training.
I'm going to reach out to
that
them.
every single person should be personally introduced to Ron
Reach
and Don.
out to Rich, and Amy's our friend over there who's working. Yeah.
I'll say that might be a little unreasonable that the guy that changing out your hubs actually knows us.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the effort.
There you go. Anyways, we're heading the holiday season. A lot of people thinking about what they're going to eat, what they're not going to eat. Don't forget, the weight that you gain during the holidays, the 1 or 2 pounds, those are the pounds that don't go away. When you get on the other side of 40, they stay with you for the rest of the year, and then boom, you add another pound or 2. And the next thing you know, you're like, wow, how did I gain 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds? And this is the time of year to start thinking about that before we sit down at the Thanksgiving table or before we get ready for Christmas or Hanukkah or Shaka Khan, whatever you celebrate. Now is a great time to get focused and to get ready to make sure that you keep moving as we head into the holidays.
So I saw 2 stories. I think you might have even sent these to me. But so you're our resident fitness instructor of the year, 0809.
Right.
And I wanted to ask you about both of these. One says that if you are working out, you'll get more out of your workout if you're dropping the bad curse words. So the F word, the S word, whatever you consider on the naughty list for the words you can't say.
Yeah.
If you say those in a forceful manner, then your workout is increased. And they've done that. This is a scientific study. So they got 2 groups of people that are both working out at similar levels. One person, when they were struggling or going for that extra pull-up or the extra rep on the bench press, would yell out a neutral word. The other person, the other group, in the same exercises were instructed to just enthusiastically drop that F-bomb.
Yeah.
And then they measured a bunch of different metrics, including, I think, blood work and all these other things. And the people that were cursing had better performance and they got better results and less pain even. One of the experiments they did is they had shockingly cold water. And so you were supposed to put your hand in the water and hold it in the water as long as you could. It's very painful after a few seconds. And so, again, the group that was yelling the F word was able to have less pain and stay in the water longer than the people that were yelling peanuts or, Sasquatch or whatever they were yelling that was not a curse word.
Yeah, this week I'm teaching my final spin class ever. The final one. And
End of an era.
That's the end of it. 20 years I've been teaching spin class.
It's a lot of spinning.
Yeah, and evidently I'm a master trainer, and what that means I don't know, but I have that title, and I have to say, especially the women in my class that are bold and drop that F-bomb and just let it rip, they are some of my toughest athletes. They really are, and I don't know the science behind it, but when I start hearing the F-bombs coming from different bikes around the room and from different people, then I know that we're going to have a great class. And sometimes if we get 20 minutes in and I haven't heard somebody drop the F-bomb, because we do something called drop saddle, where we'll drop the saddle and then we'll just stand up, and sometimes we'll run for 20, 30, 40 minutes at a time. Just run, like at a 7-minute mile, just running on the bike.
Do you want to hear the scientific thing?
And I want to hear that F-bomb as an instructor and as a teacher.
Means you're pushing them.
Because then I know, I call it, let's push you to the edge, but don't fall off. Push you to the edge, don't fall off.
The expert says, by swearing, you're triggering an emotional response in yourself, which triggers a mild stress response, which carries with it stress-induced reduction in pain.
Oh, how about that?
So, in other words, like if a lion was chasing you and you're screaming the F-bomb, it's a way to self-induce those hormones and adrenaline.
You know what's hard though is that because for me, I think there's a place and a time for a good F-bomb.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just not when your kid's in the car.
Did your parent? I have to say, my father, I never heard him use the F word ever. And my father's a lot of things, but for whatever reason, he didn't like the F word. He liked the S word. My mother liked the S word. My mother never used the F word except for one time. And it's when she started teaching at the University of New Mexico. And she's around the kids all day, and then she came home, and she was madder than a hornet about something that I had done, or my sister, my brother, something.
Well, you were probably as well deserved.
She dropped it with a mother in front of it, and it was so awesome. And we sat there, and we laughed and giggled after she did that.
I started laughing.
It was so great to hear Virginia do that. And we still talk about it to this day when your mother drops the F-bomb.
My dad was the under-the-breath cursor.
Okay.
And it sort of scared me when I was little.
Your
and
father
then it became funny.
He seems like a son of B word.
But no,
your dad.
it was the...
okay.
And like, it was the gritted teeth.
Yeah.
Under the breath, and you sort of caught syllables but not full words.
Yeah.
And then you just knew that he was tamping it in.
Yeah.
Because he was around the kids.
What about your mother?
Mother, very, very rarely, but it was an event when it happened. One more quick.
F word, your mom? Alice?
I don't know. Maybe, but very rarely.
That would shock
I don't
me.
remember. There's another real quick fitness story, and tell me if this is real because I might sign up for it. There's a guy that is an actor, a stage actor, and he had to do a nude scene on stage where he was going to be naked for 5 minutes, and so he enacted. This is in the UK.
I went to this play. Somebody invited me to this play in San Francisco, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to go to this free range play." I'm like, "What's free range?" I'm like, "Oh, that's free range. It's 4 guys in a locker room." Naked the whole time with just tennis shoes on and socks.
I think it's a different play.
What's that?
But so
that was the play I went to in San Francisco.
So he wanted to get fit quickly because he knew he was going to be naked in front of 20 to 30,000 people over the life of this run. So he says he went to there's a new workout thing, or maybe it's an old workout thing they're redeveloping called ENO, which is a outfit that you wear. Electrical muscle stimulation, EMS, excuse me. And it's like a suit.
Yeah.
That supposedly has a battery on it, and it's stimulating your muscles.
And it dehydrates you, and then you die.
While you work out. It's sending electrical shocks into your muscles.
Okay.
And this guy claims that it made him get fit a lot quicker.
I bet
he was a lot more sore than he normally would have been with the same workout.
Because the girdle is too tight that he's put it on.
So are you saying it's a scam?
You know, I can't say that, but there's something about when you have to put a certain pair of pants on. Like when you know you're getting married, right? And you know you have to put this dress on and it has to fit. It makes you act differently. It just does. And if you knew you had to wear that little girdle right there when you're working out, plus you knew this was going to be a story, plus you knew you might endorse this, plus you knew you might sell this, then your behavior might change as a result.
Placebo effect is what you're saying.
People are always looking to not do the work. In that case, it's kind of interesting because you're still doing the work, and evidently
it's supposed to be a force multiplier on the work.
Yeah, because if you're
still working out.
My dad used to do this thing where he'd sit on one side of the door, and we'd put a chin strap on him, and then there was a bag that hung on the other side of the door, and my brother and I would fill that up with water.
A chin strap?
Yeah. And then the rope hung over the door, and it was because, again, my dad was like 5'6" and a little bit, so it was supposed to be making him taller.
Get out of here.
And fitter and healthier by this water bag on the other side of the door pulling his head off.
My parents had the 2 handles with the 3 springs on them that would, I don't know what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to pull them apart.
Yeah.
And then they had the one on the door with the pulley. You'd attach a strap to your ankle, and then you'd pull on it. Or I don't know exactly what it was doing, but I tried it.
Yeah. Sometimes I'd walk in the living room, and my mom would be doing bicycles in the air. Did your mom ever do that? Where you put your hand up behind your back and you bicycle in the air? I'm like,
jazzercise. I actually went to a jazzercise class once with my mom.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty hard.
Tougher than you think.
Those gals were getting going.
Anyway, no quackery in there whatsoever. All that's
all
stuff,
legit.
All that stuff works. It really does. Yeah. Hey, don't forget, Ron and Don licensed realtors now at Windermere. We do something called a Ron and Don sit down. You did a couple of those last week, didn't you?
I did, and had some really great conversations with some folks in the Ron and Don Nation about a life transition. They were both of them had major life transitions, and I don't have permission to give you the details, but they're significant, and we just made a plan. And both of them, maybe they're shining me on, but both said, you really helped me clarify what my path forward is going to be, and like that made me very happy.
No, I don't think they're shining you on. I think you're really good at that, because sometimes people just need to sit down, have a cup of coffee, and just have a chat with somebody else about their real estate journey. And sometimes when people are ready to sell, you know what they find out? They're not ready to sell. Maybe they're ready to do something different. Maybe they're just ready to go on a trip, right? Take some of that equity and go. And just go have some fun. Because you've been working for 30 or 40 years. So anyway, you can reach out to Ron Upshaw at Windermere.com, Don O'Neill at Windermere.com, everything at RonandDon.com. We are licensed brokers with Windermere. We'd love to sit down with you at our offices, have a cup of coffee, and just talk about wherever you're at in that journey. All right, he's Ron, I'm Don. It's episode number 28. Don't forget to subscribe and also give us a rating. You give us a rating, that helps us with the algorithm, and it's really been making the show soar as of late. So our thanks to you for that. All right. Hey, coming up, we're going to tell you a little bit about Les Schwab, and we will see you on the other side of this.
Help cops help kids. Go to ronandon.com right now and buy a t-shirt. And $5 from every t-shirt sale will help kids like me. It's called Charlie's Dinosaur.
Hey, you know what? They heard your plea. Now we have three episodes of the Ron and Don Show. That's thanks to Les Schwab. Every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And don't forget, as we're heading into winter driving season, Ron, you just experienced this on one of your real estate journeys.
Yeah,
right?
I had to drive over to Chelan, or I got to drive to Chelan, and 2 mountain passes. If it had been snowing and icy, I would have been in trouble. So do what I'm going to do. Stop by Les Schwab when you see him. Say, tell him you're part of the Ron and Don Nation. Have him check it out. Say, is my rig ready for the cold winter months? And they're going to do a check for you. Make sure everything is ready. And especially if you know you're going to be going over the pass, if you know you're going to go up and be going snowing or snowboarding this year, go to Les Schwab. Get winter ready at Les Schwab. You can find a location near you at leschwab.com/Ron and Don.
Yeah, and while you stop in at Les Schwab Tire Center, do this too. Bring some food with you. A lot of times during the holidays, we're looking to help people, but we don't know how. They have it figured out at Les Schwab. They know there's 23 million Americans that go to bed every night, including 11 million children. They go to bed hungry, and so that's one of the reasons Les Schwab is teamed up. That's right. It's Drive Out Hunger and Les Schwab. They have teamed up to help make sure that every child and every adult that lives in Western Washington, that they go to bed on a full stomach. Just go to leschwab.com/Ron and Don. That's leschwab.com/Ron and Don to see how you can be a part of something bigger than yourself. Les Schwab, let's say it together. Doing the right thing, it matters.
Don't go anywhere unless you want to. It's the Ron and Don Show, starring Ron and Don, and sometimes me at ronandon.com.
All right, it's episode number 28 of the Ron and Don Show, dropping every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, thanks to Les Schwab. Don't forget, it is time to stop by a Les Schwab Tire Center and drop off a non-perishable food item and or items. They can always use a lot of peanut butter, can't they? Mention the Ron and Don Show when you step in there. And if you're looking for a Les Schwab Tire Center, you can find one, 85 locations.
Absolutely. leschwab.com/Ron and Don. That actually lets them know that you came from the podcast. It doesn't have our picture on it or anything, but they'll let the Les Schwab people know that you found us through Ron and Don. So leschwab.com/Ron and Don. This I found fascinating, and I think you actually sent this to me, so you found it fascinating as well, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it yet. So many people, if you're single, you've used an online dating app. And so some academics want to do a study on this because they were looking at, well, how do they develop these algorithms to show you the people that you show? So some of the big names like I think Match.com and eHarmony makes you answer like 150 questions because before you sign or while you're signing up. And the promise is we're going to be able to tailor the people that you connect with, where your values and things that are important to you are going to overlap. And so you're not going to have to deal with people that we know you're not going to be compatible with. And so some folks were like, I wonder if that's true. I wonder if that's accurate. I wonder if that matters. And so they set up these experiments. And so one of them, and these are with a little bit younger people, so take that into consideration. They had them pre-fill out, what are your deal breakers? What are you looking for? What are your deal breakers? And so they got both of those lists. And so then they told them, we're going to set you up with people and see how it goes. So they set them up with people. And then down the road, after they knew they were going to have their first meeting, so you saw these pictures of women or you saw pictures of men, and then you found some attractive, and then it's like, okay, we got a date booked with so-and-so. Then they revealed, oh, by the way, you said that you didn't want to date a smoker. The person that you have the appointment with, they're actually a smoker. Or you said that you wanted someone that was really religious or not religious. Turns out now that you got the appointment, you guys are booked at the coffee shop. Turns out that they are that thing.
So they added the deal breaker
after it was booked.
Okay.
So you got the initial attraction.
Yeah.
You swiped right. You chatted for a minute. You booked the appointment, and then they introduced the deal breakers. Did you read this? What percentage of people do you think are like, I kind of still want the date? What percentage?
I would think for me, a deal breaker is a deal breaker. So
Okay.
if you smell like an ashtray, then that is just a deal breaker. If you're overly religious, and I don't mean spiritual, if you're over religious, deal breaker. If movement isn't important to you, and I don't mean you have to go to the gym every day, but somehow just movement, trying to eat right, if that's not important to you, deal breaker. If you don't like animals and kids, deal breaker.
So
right
what
there.
percentage of people do you think?
91%. I'm going to
75% of people would overlook
Oh, really?
multiple deal breakers because of the other initial things.
Then you're not being true.
Well, no,
just over attraction. Then you're really not being true to yourself and true to who you are.
Well, here's the thing.
And in the long run, that's probably never going to work.
Here's the-
if it's a true deal breaker, a real what's a real deal breaker for you?
The thing
a real
that
one.
they found in this is that you can say, like, a big one is I have a sense of humor.
You're not answering the question.
What's a deal breaker for me?
For you? What I just named
would
5 or
think
6. What are deal breakers for you?
Chronic smoker would be a deal breaker for
Now,
me.
chronic.
Like, yeah, no, someone that's a smoker.
So someone can smoke no. What if they just smoke? I just talked to a guy who was having some health issues. He said he was only smoking 5 or 6 cigarettes a day, which means he's probably smoking 6 packs a day. But he said 5 or 6 cigarettes a day.
If it was, here's what I would probably do, which I know is bad. If let's just say everything clicked. Like, you're like, oh my God, this is the woman of my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out after the second date or the third date that she sneaks in some smokes here and there.
Yeah.
I would probably think that I could nag her into quitting.
Oh, you do? Okay.
It may be naive, but I would, if everything else lined up,
Okay.
then I would probably do that.
Has that worked for you in the past, nagging someone until they quit?
Not really.
Okay.
But you said something to me one time that's always stuck with me.
Oh.
You said, Ron,
Just one thing.
it's
Interesting.
the only thing that's ever stuck with me.
Okay.
You said, Ron, you got to find someone that's the right kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So whatever brand of crazy you are,
everybody's crazy. Yeah.
as long as you find someone else
Totally.
that's the same brand of crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy. I'm crazy. Everyone's crazy.
So as long as your crazies overlap,
Yeah.
then you're good.
Okay.
So, but they said that the problem is you might say, "Oh, sense of humor is important to me," and the other person could go, "Everyone's told me my whole life that I'm funny." Doesn't mean that you have the same kind of funny.
Yeah.
So you have to still have that meeting, and so their conclusion kind of is these apps shouldn't really be trying to anticipate what they're going to present to you. They shouldn't sequester it. Just let you decide which person you like, which person you don't like, because most people are going to overlook a red flag anyway.
Oh, they are.
If they have a connection on some other metrics.
Huh. Isn't that interesting? You didn't really give us a deal breaker, though.
I said smokers.
I
a
don't
deal
think
breaker.
that's a smoking, because I know that you have dated people that have smoked before. I have not. I can't. And it's not that I wouldn't. My nose is just too sensitive.
All right, here's my deal
I cannot
breaker.
handle it. Or a girl that's like you, and she loves to consume garlic, and it oozes out of her pores. Can't date her.
Here's a deal breaker for me.
Cannot date that.
If someone meets you and after the first meeting says, "That Don, I really, really like him,"
Yeah.
deal breaker. That's it. Not happening. I'm done with you.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Hey, don't forget, right now you can stop by any Les Schwab Tire Center. They are raising food just for the holidays. And let's get it done. Stop by one of their 85 locations. Bring a non-perishable food item, and they say, this time of year they could use a lot of peanut butter. You know what I do, too? Is I bring stuff for babies. I'll drop off diapers. I'll drop off baby formula. And I also like to bring things for animals. So I'll bring things for dogs and cats. You could do that at a Les Schwab Tire Center. Because you know what? Humans out there, they have babies and animals that they love too. And during the holidays, they could really use your help. Don't forget, Les Schwab does this with Food Lifeline. Food Lifeline helps about 300 different organizations throughout the state of Washington. And you can stop by one of those 85 locations to serve you. More information up right now at leschwab.com, because doing the right thing, you know it matters this holiday season. Hey, Brett Clark is here with Les Schwab. 85 locations to serve you. They heard your plea. Now you got three episodes of the Ron and Don Show. And our thanks to Les Schwab for doing this. Let's talk about a lot of times we pull into the other guys. They'll charge us a couple $100s to put our car up on a rack. Not at Les Schwab. If people pull in, especially as we head into some really rough driving, you guys will take a look for free and let people know, hey, this is what's going on with your brakes. This is what's happening with your batteries. This is what's happening with your tire wear, right?
Absolutely. Part of our best tire value promise is our free peace of mind tire protection. So you come into Les Schwab, you're going to take off for your holiday travels. You're going to grandma's for Thanksgiving. You're going to be heading over the pass. Come by one of our 85 Les Schwab locations, and we're going to get that in. We'll take a look at it. We'll check your brakes. We'll check your battery. We'll check your front end. We'll make sure everything's going great for you. All free of charge.
Brett, I'm always surprised, even though we have a relationship for a decade. Like, I had a slow leak on my truck, went in there, you guys fixed it for free, and I'm like, seriously? Like, it surprised me every time of how great you take care of me. I don't even think I bought the tires there. You just pulled up my name. It's like, oh, you've bought stuff in the past? I'll just go ahead and fix that slow leak.
Absolutely, yeah. It's all part of the goodwill. We want to make sure that flat tires are a really interesting phenomenon, because that's a terrible day in somebody's world. That's your vehicle. That's how you get around. And if we can take that flat repair from you, if we can repair that, if we can get that back on, put your spare away, and do all that for you for free of charge, we hope maybe we made an impression on your day. We hope to make that day just a little bit better for you.
Yeah. Don't forget, 85 locations to serve you throughout Western Washington. Les Schwab, proving it. Once again, let's say it together. Doing the right thing. It matters.
Ron and Don. Ron and Don. Ron and Don. Ron and Don. On the Ron and Don Radio Network, man.
All right, this is crazy. And according to NBC News, and we've been talking on and off here on the Ron and Don Show about Popeyes. Stop by Popeyes getting a chicken sandwich. I think Popeyes started the chicken sandwich because of the Chick-fil-A sandwich. And when Chick-fil-A opened in Bellevue, I'd heard from a friend of mine, this police officer over there, that people are lined up around the block and continued to be lined up around the block.
And it was right off of a freeway exit, so it was causing some traffic issues.
Yeah, and wherever there is a Chick-fil-A, people line up around the block. I don't know if you've ever had one of the Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
You want to know what the secret is?
The best part of the Chick-fil-A sandwich is actually the 2 dill pickles that come with it.
Well, they brine it in pickle juice.
2 dill pickles are a lost art, and I really enjoy the dill pickles. And I've had the Chick-fil-A sandwich, and I don't know that I would wait in line for the Chick-fil-A sandwich, but it is a good sandwich.
It's a good sandwich.
So what is going on at Popeyes in Milwaukee now? And it seems like each and every day we come, there are brawls that are happening. Not in Milwaukee, the brawl that happened, 7 people in a brawl. Most of the people in the brawl in the Popeyes were not people that were coming in to buy the chicken sandwich. It's people that are preparing and selling the chicken sandwiches. Evidently, some people that work at Popeyes are taking the chicken sandwich, they're pocketing these sandwiches, and then they're selling them as a side hustle.
There is a black market for this sandwich.
So people that come through the drive-thru, and they'll sell them the sandwich for $15, $20, something like this. Is the Popeye, and again, a couple of weeks ago, I ran into this mayhem. I was coming to see you, and I was like, wow, they have a Popeyes, which originated in Louisiana. I wonder if they have the fried okra. That's what I was looking for. So I stopped there with my son. We were coming down here to tape the Ron and Don podcast, and come to find out, they didn't have the fried okra, and they didn't have the chicken sandwiches, and people were going nuts. So I can understand this if this happened in one store. This is happening everywhere over the Popeyes chicken sandwich. People are pulling out knives and threatening one another. What is going on here?
Well, it's either one of two things. Either one is they're doing it on purpose, where they're actively at a corporate level saying this is really good for business to have this scarcity thing.
To have people pull out knives and guns
No.
and employees beating the hell out of each other?
No, they don't want that.
So they can turn around and side hustle a sandwich through the drive-thru?
But if you can get this kind of free advertising where people are talking about it, and then when you can announce on like Twitter, hey, we're the sandwich is back, and then everybody floods in, and then it's out again. Sandwich is back. It's out again. So they could be doing that on purpose, like, and I've said this before, but like McDonald's does with the McRib. Like the McRib shows up. People that like the McRib, and I've been known to like a McRib, you go in there, you eat the McRib, and then it disappears.
Is the response though like it has been for the Chick-fil-A sandwich?
No, I don't remember
or the Popeye sandwich
being riots over the McRib.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like people are stabbing each other, or you have staff that are beating the heck out of each other for the sandwich.
Either that, or they have a legit supply chain issue where they just don't have enough product in the pipeline, because I don't think they are the scale of some of these more established chains that you've heard of that's in every single city in America.
Have you ever eaten anything so good that it would be worth fighting over? Have you ever had a food product? I will tell you this.
Like it was the last one?
There is something called the Quonset Hut in Waukegan, Illinois.
The Quonset Hut.
The Quonset Hut. They use real Italian sausage, as we like to say in Illinois.
Is that related to Italian sausage?
This is right down the street from my grandpa's and grandma's, is Grandpa Charlie, Grandma Caroline, right down the street from their house. And we would always, as kids, want to go to the Quonset Hut, because that, even to this day, is the best pizza in the world. And the hard thing to do with a Quonset pizza, because everything is cut up in double diagonals, so you get these little squares of pizza. It would be hard to take that and then put that pizza in your pocket and then side hustle that through a drive-thru.
Yeah, I think you can do it with
because I don't
pizza.
think they have a drive-thru at the Quonset. And there's only one Quonset Hut. It's in Waukegan,
And you're claiming
Illinois.
it's the best pizza in the world.
I think it is. Well, according to, that's what my 9-year-old remembrance is of
Because
the
I've never
Quonset.
seen it. I've watched the Pizza Show, both episodes, and they've never featured the Quonset
I
Hut.
don't think I'd ever pull a knife out or threaten to kill someone or
Let me throw this at you.
over a Quonset Hut pizza, but I do have to say, if I was going to fight over something, I think I would fight if I was forced to fight over a Quonset Hut pizza.
Let me throw this at you. You're at the age you are now. 15-year-old Don.
Yeah.
It is the last sopapilla at Gardenia's in Mexico.
Yeah.
And only one person's going to get it.
Right.
Would you be willing to fight to the death?
Has the corner been already bitten off?
Nope.
And is it filled with honey yet?
The honey's there.
Okay.
It's sitting on the side.
It's waiting for the corner to be bitten off and
piping hot.
and filled with honey.
It's for those that don't know, it's like basically a fried dough pillow
Yeah.
that they make in New Mexico, and then you get honey and powdered sugar with it.
Or you go to Stuffy Sopapilla and it's already stuffed in the drive-thru.
Maybe the greatest thing ever
Yeah.
med in New
I may
Mexico.
come over the table at you for one of those.
I would fight for that. There was also, I had a burrito in Mexico City one time that I would probably, I'd arm wrestle someone over it for sure.
Well,
That
I
was the last one.
tell you what, we shouldn't fight over food this holiday season. What we should do is stop by Les Schwab Tire Center and drop off a non-perishable food item. They are doing that right now, you guys. Drop in one of their 85 locations. And people always wonder, what should I bring? Non-perishable. So if you just took out your turkey or your pet chicken in the backyard and you're taking that down to a Les Schwab Tire Center, probably don't do that.
I don't think there's a lot of people taking out their pet chicken in the backyard for the holidays.
I don't know. You haven't spent a lot of time down in Pierce County.
Fair point.
Yeah. Stop by Les Schwab Tire Center. 85 locations to serve you now through Black Friday. They'd love to hear from you. They'd love to see you, shake your hand, and let them know you're part of the Don Nation. And let them know you're really proud of this partnership that we have, once again, with Les Schwab. And we really appreciate them as we head into the holidays. All right? It's the Ron and Don Show. We will see you on the other side of this. All right, before we get out of here, don't forget Ron and Don are licensed realtors. We do something called the Ron and Don Sit Down. We sit down, we grab a cup of coffee, and Ron, I was a little under the weather last week, but you did this with a number of people in the Ron and Don Nation. It's super simple. It's super easy. It's a lot of fun, too, isn't it?
Yeah, and not to brag, but I'm been told my entire life that I'm pretty good at listening to someone when they're at an inflection point in their life and giving solid advice. So I had...
What did you just say?
Not to brag,
okay,
but I've been, and in all seriousness, and you know this, I'm pretty good at listening to where someone's at in their life and when they're trying to make a change and giving pretty solid advice. So I listened to a couple folks in the Ron Don Nation. Both of them are at a big inflection point in their life. We came up with some game plans, and both of them sent me some very lovely emails afterward that said, A, thank God Don wasn't there.
Yeah.
And B, what you said inspired me, and it made a lot of sense. So I would like to invite people to Ironodon. I'm ribbing you a little bit because we did a sit down where it seemed like the person liked you. I don't know why, but that seemed like it was a thing.
That's fine.
Sometimes I am amazed, like, why do people like Don?
Yeah. What'd you just say?
Are your ears clogged up today?
No, you said you're really good at listening, and I'm not that good at listening. Most of the time.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, so we'd love to have a cup of coffee with you. It's the Ron and Don Sit Down. We're licensed realtors at Windermere, and a lot of people right now are trying to come up with a strategy as we head into the new year. Because excise tax has gone up in the state on some houses, it's gone down on others. And then what's going to happen with the condo market? Good time to jump in and buy an investment property. What's happening with Airbnb now that a lot of those rules have changed as of the first of the year. So we have experience with all that, and we'd love to help you. Buy, sell, or maybe you just want to go on a trip somewhere. Why don't we go with you? It's the Ron and Don Sit Down. Let's have a cup of coffee. You can reach out to Ron. It's Ron Upshaw at Windermere.com. Don O'Neill at Windermere.com. And before we get out of here, another quick reminder, get out to a Les Schwab Tire Center. 85 locations to serve you now through Black Friday. They are collecting food, non-perishable food. Let them know you're part of the Ron and Don Nation and you want to be a part of something bigger than yourself. Keep your head up, your shoulders back, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Ron and Don Show.